We here, we live. All right, we here. Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You know, it's throwing the plug. You know how to catch us on. There we go. You know how to catch us on YouTube. What else? YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, the Instagram. Catch us on all our platforms. But we here after Eagles crushing win over the local Atlanta Falcons. We did our thing tonight. Good all around game. Hurts looked great in his, I don't want to say first start with the Eagles, but first start under the rookie head coach in his new system. He looked great. Devonta Smith, first start in the NFL, looks like a stud. Miles Sanders looked like the Miles Sanders I want to see. I know I was ripping Miles Sanders last year. I want him to be more aggressive, run harder, run through tackles. I'm trying to bounce everything outside. Miles Sanders looked good. Decent defensive line, even though they got sacks late, they came on. They looked good. They had constant pressure though. Matty Ice, I just want to throw this in there real quick. Matty Ice to me is terrible. He is the most overrated quarterback in the league. He gets so much love. He didn't even look good in the Super Bowl. He threw the Super Bowl away. Matty Ice to me is an overrated quarterback, man, in the league. How is he still keep signing and all this money? I don't know. But he looks like a rookie out there at times, confused, taking unnecessary sacks, throwing bad passes. But enough of that. Eagles look good, man. What y'all got to say? Only thing I didn't like was the run early on, man. He's getting gashed. But
I mean, a lot of times I expect that because you don't really do no real hitting, no real tackling in the shortened off season that we had with the less preseason games and all that kind of stuff like that. So sometimes you gotta get a little warmed up to get hit, and that's what I said in the text. I said we're gonna get it together. I think we're gonna warm up, and we're gonna start putting some helmets on helmets, pads on helmets, and it's gonna make it happen. So yeah, I know I gotta shut the background.
We don't got control over the household.
That thing is evil.
And so. But all that being said, I was impressed with Jalen, man. I was thorough. Actually, I was impressed with the coach too. We're gonna get into that, but I was really impressed with Jalen. He looked good. He definitely worked it with the young boy Devonta Smith. I think we got a legit number one in him. He's our best young receiver we had since Deshaun Jackson. I'm very, very hyped about what I see. This offense, if done right, this offense can be one of the best offenses. I don't want to get too carried away and beside myself, but I think this offense can be a top offense in the league, especially with the speed at the skill positions that we need, at the running back, at the wide receiver, at the tight end, at the quarterback. We got some legit work going on right here with this team. I'm hyped. I'm ecstatic at what I've seen so far. I don't want to get too carried away, which I might later on in this pod, but I'm feeling good.
All right. Well, Wayne and Ethan having some technical difficulties because they out on vacation, but they decided to do the podcast with us nonetheless today. So appreciate that. I really enjoyed this game. Not because I'm not going to get in here and say I told y'all so and everything, or that Jalen was going to be a really good player. I'm not saying that I had some foresight saying that I knew he was going to perform at this high level. I'm not going to say these things. I'm not going to sit there and tell you.
You're going to say them without saying them, so you might as well just go ahead and say them.
But what I will say is I was impressed with because Wayne we was all on our private chat. We was talking and he kept saying he was questioning his arm strength, he was questioning all these things. And Jalen passed every single test you wanted him to pass today. Now, granted, it was coming against a 4-win team, but we were a 4-win team last year. 2 rookie head coaches going against each other. I think we're going to see actually more of what this team really is in the coming weeks. But so I don't want to put too much into this game. But just as far as the play, I was impressed by Sirianni, and I'll admit I wasn't impressed with his early press conferences and how he spoke and everything. I questioned it a little bit, but I got to admit his play calling was on point today. I like what I saw. Rieger, he still had an up and down game. I didn't like him with the punt returns or anything, or not the punt returns, but the
punt returns.
The punt returns. Okay,
Yeah, he did punt. Yeah,
I didn't think he was. It was underwhelming. I should put it that way. But overall, first game it was sloppy. You got to give him. We had a lot of penalties, especially on the offensive line. Very sloppy. But overall, I'm have to give him like an A for what I seen today on the field.
What's up, Hambino? Thanks for the shout out. I'm definitely giving him an A too. He played, but I'm not going to say he played well for what I expected. He played a little better than I expected, but somewhere around where I was expecting. This is what I said about Jalen that I like. His mobility and his ability to throw the football opens it up for everybody else around him. It opens it up for the running game. It opens it up for the wide receivers. It opens up for himself. It's still what I actually was probably more impressed with than anything was that they blitzed him a lot early on, especially in the second quarter coming down to the half. They was blitzing like crazy, and he made smart decisions. Either he got it out of his hand quick, or he stepped up in the pocket, rolled out, got out of dodge. He didn't take bad sacks. Even the one sack he took, I was surprised he didn't fumble. He had the ball. He must have the ball in the vice grip because my man came hitting with the arm and everything. He still was able to hold on to it. So he played well. But this, to me, this is a product of what you have in good, innovative coaching. This was, if anybody was here from last year, one of the things I know I was adamant about was the fact that Doug Peterson wasn't innovative enough in his offense. Even that play that Rieger scored on, very good play design, a creative play. You had movement all over the place. One person comes from this direction. It looked like it's about to be a sweep or a bootleg or something. Then he turns and hits Rieger, who's stepping back. Boom, Rieger takes off. This is the stuff that you see the Chiefs run. This is the stuff that you see successful offenses run. Even the Rams with their coach, I can't remember his name right now, but this was the kind of stuff that they was running and being successful. And finally, we got a young, innovative coach who's willing to take these type of risks. And we got enough. I'm telling you, we got enough talent on this offense to be scary, depending on how good Jalen really executes this whole thing. But we got some weapons.
I do want a couple critiques. I do want to see him put the ball on the field. He'll have an opportunity to do that. He has 16 games left. The one underthrow on Ertz, okay. I mean, he did. It wasn't like he was scrambling through the ball. I want to see him hit plays like that. Only critique I really got on Hurts, sometimes to me, and this is what a lot of mobile quarterbacks do, they leave the pocket too early. The pocket, even in the fourth quarter, I think of one play, I mean, the pocket, he looked like he could have sat there for another couple of seconds. But the mobility and maybe the clock in your head makes you leave the pocket too early. I want him to settle down there. He could have settled down there and picked that defense apart. He was looking to run too soon sometimes. So, that'll come with time and get more comfortable in the pocket, getting comfortable with your O-line. O-line did play well when they wasn't getting false starts. I give them they played well. They picked up the block well. Miles Sanders picked up the block well too. I'm impressed. Miles Sanders impressed me this game. I got to give him his props. I was hating on him. The way he ran, the way he didn't bounce everything outside. He did go inside, and the way he picked up blitzes. So this team can be scary.
What I like, or not like, but what I saw adjustments from the defense, because the defense I thought struggled a little bit early on. Because everybody came in saying that I knew this defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, they said he was this mastermind. So we was getting gashed big time early on. I mean, they was one point they had a 16-yard run in 11. They were doing whatever they want. I remember they said that this offensive coordinator was with the Titans last year. He had Henry balling last year. So he had these Bulls for Atlanta balling just as much early on. So I thought that our defense was struggling. However, Brandon Graham, did y'all see that hit that he hit that stop? I think that was a momentum change. I was like, oh, where's a sighting of Brandon Graham? But it was a nice hit. He blew that ball up in the middle, I think like a 3-yard loss. So the defense got better as the game, after the second, third, and fourth quarters. The defense played a whole lot better than they originally started out with.
That's what I'm impressed with, too. I'm not sure, and maybe like Atlanta fans like Hambino and all them would shout out. I think I shouted you out already, Hambino, but shout out again. I think maybe they could give us more insight on what Atlanta's offensive line looking like. but we didn't hardly dial up no blitzes and got pressure consistently, which was impressive. Now, I know we got a good defensive line, but like I said, I'm not sure all the way what Atlanta's offensive line situation is looking like. But especially come late in that second half, we knew Atlanta had to pass. They just teed off Hargrove, Cox, Sweat. Everybody was just doing their thing. We was getting in there, smacking cats around. I love to see that. So go ahead, Wayne. Go ahead. What's your take? We said a couple things, but I want you to get in for your signal get janky again on that cheap computer. I mean, on that bad internet. Go ahead, Brooks. You hear us? Go ahead.
He's still having technical difficulties over there, Sam.
Oh man! All right, if you catch up, Brooks, just get in where you fit in. Go ahead and jump in. But I'm personally about to go out on the limb. This is what everybody in the comment section who's not an Eagles fan, or maybe an Eagles fan, this is what I do. This is what Eagle fans do. I'm about to go out on the limb. I think we are the new Chiefs. We are the new KC. We have all the recipes for success.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I came in just in time to hear that. Come on, man.
Yes. We are the new Chiefs. We it. Go ahead. Speak on it, Brooks.
All I say is, I'm sorry, fellas, everybody, if my system is a little jacked up, I'm on the road this weekend. But I think it was a wonderful game. It was a great team win. The defense played, stepped up later on in the game after a rocky start. Quarterback ball, running game ball, offensive line, other than some penalties, they balled. The coach even balled. This is the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks.
I
know you still mentally frazzled over that Hawks.
The Atlanta Falcons. Come on, man. Their defense, their secondary was ranked 29th last year, and nobody on their team had more than 5 sacks last season. So, but that being said, the Eagles handled their business, and I'm proud of the way they balled out. I have no complaints about the way they balled out.
I agree. Hold it. Let me address a couple of things. Sergeant Bash, you right. I'm probably drawing. But email, I've been said I was cool with Hurts. If you was listening to the last several podcasts, we talked about Eagles and Hurts. I said even the last one we did coming down to the end of the Eagles season, Hurts over Wentz. I said the league has changed direction in quarterbacks. Most of your quarterbacks need to be mobile because most quarterbacks aren't a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning that could just sit in the pocket and direct receivers and coverages and thread the needle. That's not really what you see for the most part. And plus, on top of that, the speed of the defense linebackers and defensive ends and all that, you need a mobile quarterback, a quarterback that can get out and run. This is what I said. This is why I said I'm okay with Eagles going with Hurts and letting go of Wentz. I've been perfectly fine with that for the last several months. So, email, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been talking about
that being said, I still feel the same way I felt about Hurts before. I still don't see the zip on his ball. I don't see that zip like that you see on a rocket arm quarterback. Not saying that he got a candy arm, but his arm reminds me of Nick Foles' arm. Like whereas though it's the little feathery touch type pass. And while that may not be effective now, we play in Philadelphia, we play against the Giants and the Redskins in the Northeast. When the late fall and winter kick in, that wind starts whipping around. You need to have that drill to put it in there.
It looked like he did have that drill to me.
I didn't see that one at all.
A couple passes he threw, the one he threw to Devonta Smith on that long 3rd and 9, it looked like he rifled that. That ball was on a rope. It looked like it wasn't there.
That's a 3rd and 9. When I'm talking about rifle, I'm talking about where 20 yards down the field, you shoot a laser.
I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, that pass was about 20. The play was 3rd and 9, but the ball went about 15 to 20 yards. It was on a rope. So I mean, we'll see. Like you said, when the weather get windy and all that kind of stuff, it's going to test whether it's legit or not. But to me, it looked solid to me. But Emo, I wasn't necessarily comparing him to the Mahomes. Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, 1 or 2, him or Tom Brady. But I was just saying the offense, we have enough weapons on this offense to be scary. We got speed at the running back position. We got speed at the wide receiver, the starter, and the slot. We got solid speed at the tight end with Goddard. Ertz is still effective. We got weapons. If Sirianni,
respecting Nick, just call him Nick if you can't pronounce his last name.
If Nick S is creative and innovative enough, this offense can be scary, barring any type of injuries, obviously. We'll see.
Listen, I know. Let me say something real quick. I know Jamar Chase was getting a lot of hate, but he balled today. He had 5 catches for 100 yards. I think he had a 50-yard bomb. So he's still the truth. I mean, he might have had a little bad preseason. I sent y'all this video about talking about how wide receivers and looking at the white stripes on the ball and the white stripes on the front of the ball in college and watching the laces in NFL, how it's a little different for the receivers. But he's a baller. I won't hate on Chase, but him and Devonta Smith might be the top receivers of the draft. Pitts look like he's gonna be nice, but we'll see. We'll see how that go playing with Matty Ice.
I want to see how this work out with the emails. I told y'all when Hurts, if and when Hurts runs into a team, that because Atlanta changed some schemes up to him on the second half, and he had to go away from him and just focus on let the running backs do it.
Wayne, take Wentz and just erase Wentz out of your head. Remember on
listen. Well,
Puerto Rico, she's like 2 weeks. See if you can turn everything and pull Wentz's name out your head.
It's the TS and the TZ gets me every time. I got to start saying Jalen and Carson, but no, when they go up against Atlanta made changes, and when they made changes, Hurts wasn't as effective, but. That's where you got to get Nick Sirianni got to get a lot of credit for this game, bro, because he went with what worked. He switched it up and he started going to that ground pound game. And I like our backfield.
I do. Emo, using the same thing I said. For some reason, Riga looked the fastest he ever looked as an Eagle on that little bubble screen type joint that he ran into the end zone. He been looking slow to me, but he stepped it up on that play. I mean, I don't know if it's just his running style. If he get open, he opens it up better, and he hesitant trying to make moves. So his quickness ain't. Maybe it's his quickness. His flat out speed might be solid if he just get the running. But his quickness, his start and stop speed, and his acceleration may be suspect.
He looks terrible on punts.
So I agree. So we'll see about that. But that's what I'm saying. To be a good, effective punt returner, you got to have quickness. Your start and stop speed got to be next level. And I don't think he has that. I think he has to open up. Once you get in the open field, he could probably go.
What about
did Watkins get hurt?
Smith is the real deal. Yes.
Sirianni. What do y'all think about Sirianni taking points off the board and going for that 2-point conversion instead of when they was able to get one person goal?
He made it. It's hard to argue when they made the 2.
It's hard to argue, but is this something that I know?
I'm not a fan of that.
It's unconventional, but it's not something that you would want to do. Like
that's some of the stuff. Go ahead.
The only reason I might not have as big a problem with it, because I agree. At first when he did it, I'm like, why would he do that? But the way that the Eagles was running.
Dwayne Freeze? I freeze.
Yeah, Dwayne Freeze.
He's just thinking about something.
All right.
Yeah, Wayne. He's trying
to take.
Eagles was punching in.
Hold up. Go ahead, Wayne. You froze for a minute. Come back and tell us what you said.
You back.
Yeah, I had to connect through my hotspot, so we'll see. But no, I was saying. Our Ephraim moved, so I am still good. I was saying maybe he felt because they was manhandling on a running game. Once they moved up a little bit more, he was like, "Oh, they're not going to stop this. We just going to punch it down their throat." So I'm not mad at it. If it was mid-season, I ain't buying it. If it was mid-season, listen. Let me tell you something. You sitting here acting like you're about to talk. If you're about to talk, I don't even think a bad connection would stop you from talking. I know. So I'm not believing it.
You're like, he get 5G when he starts talking.
I mean, I can see it both ways with the whole 2-point conversion thing. But me, I'm not. Sometimes that was Doug's approach. Sometimes Doug did some of that stuff, and sometimes it would kind of bite us a little bit. If you got points on the board, take the points on the board. That's my thing. Just take the points. I could see if it was necessary, if we was down or you felt you couldn't stop the other team from scoring, so you had to kind of get as many points as you could. That's one thing. But when it worked, you can't really argue with it too much when it does work. But I'm not really a fan of going for 2 like that when you don't really have to. That's my thing on it. So, but the
risk reward is not worth it. The risk reward is not worth it.
That's my thing.
Affect the game.
I agree, absolutely. I thought that play What I'm trying to think, what was Matt Ryan thinking when he intentionally grounded on that play? I thought that was just a dumb play. Because if he got sacked, he wasn't in jeopardy of fumbling the ball. Not that it looked like to me. Maybe he thought he's about to fumble, so he threw it. But if he got sacked, it'd only been like 2nd and 13, 2nd and 14. Instead, it turned into a 2nd and 20.
But it could have been a turnover, and if it was a turnover, then that's a better.
No, he threw it to the ground. He wasn't in jeopardy of fumbling. He just took the ball as he went down. Yeah, and he threw it. He purposely threw it on the ground. It was kind of a dumb play. Just like, all right, just take the sack, and now it's 2nd and like 13 or 14 at most, because he kind of stepped up in the pocket instead of being 2nd and 20. I just thought that was to me, it was a dumb play. Maybe somebody could tell me why he did it, but it didn't seem smart.
Maybe he was in fear of fumbling and threw it to the ground.
Ron L., I do like that Gaineswell Miles Sanders combination. It do seem like that could be lethal.
Yeah,
too bad.
And hey, Blaine, I agree with what you said. But this is why I give Nick Sirianni props, because, like you said this offense just put the ball in special players' hands and let them make plays. And I thought that the coach did that. And even when it came to the quarterback, you put it in his hands, like on those certain plays, you run it, you got that there. You make those passes. The line did a decent job. Like I said, the running backs, everything else. But I am, like Blaine said, I'm a little excited about the defense. I want to wait to see against somebody else, because Atlanta, they had an overall on their offense. But I'm excited for the next game and see what we got.
I do want to see the D-line get sacks early in the game. They got all 8 sacks on like 2 drives when you knew Atlanta had to pass.
But early is kind of you still trying to figure out what the offense trying to do. Remember, they ran down our throat a lot too, so you still always had to be kind of
run too. I thought the D line to do something.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I was saying about just the non-contact. You don't have that much contact during. You don't have any preseason games for one. Then you don't have that much contact during your off-season workouts going into preseason. So you got to kind of get warmed up to that hitting and that tackling and all that kind of stuff like that. So I'm not too overly concerned about that unless it continues to happen down the line. But even with the sacks, you still trying to figure out what they're trying to do. So you don't want to get caught peeking your head in too hard. Then they hit you with a quick handoff, and you all the way in the backfield and the running back all the way downfield. So you still trying to gauge a lot of that. So second half, truth be told, is when a lot of sacks start happening for the most part, especially this early in the season. But we're going to see going forward. I mean, I like your point, but even early on, I felt we still got a good amount of pressure on him. It wasn't like he had all day and was sitting back chilling. We still got pressure. We didn't just capitalize on sacks. Like Fletcher Cox, I remember in the first half, missed one. Remember, he's grabbing his head like, oh, man, I thought that was second half. You sure? I thought it was the second quarter.
That was second half.
Okay, it might have been, but that's my point. But even throughout the game, we were still getting that pressure.
Ms. said Jalen Hurts is the next Russell Wilson. I kind of agree with
I hope so. Russell got a gun. Russell got a cannon.
I don't think he got Russell arm, but like I said, his joint, you can increase your arm strength. It is noted that you can increase your arm strength, so that's something that he could work on. And it's not that it's weak, like Wayne said earlier. Wayne saying he got no noodle.
Exaggerating his arm strength.
How? I didn't say his arm strength is weak.
I got a ball. You said that.
I just told you what my issue is. It was the same. Go ahead, E. I was just addressing them talking about me. I told you my issue is right now. Yeah, that's just like in the Super Bowl. Nick Foles balled out because they didn't have no weather. But leading up to that, during a couple games that they had in Philly, that arm wasn't looking nowhere near as strong. Now, was it? That's what I'm saying. In the playoffs and during the season, we're going to have to play down the stretch in that type of weather. But that being said, if we can do everything else like we was, the running game and quick pass and that stuff work, I don't care.
But we got global warming now, so don't worry about it.
Okay. And don't you use that as no excuse later on when we playing in the typhoon or the wind whipping. Well, no, the weather was messed up, and I don't want to hear that there.
So we the team to beat in the NFC East.
We are the top team in the NFC East right now.
Over Dallas?
Yes.
Dallas lost.
Well, we play Tampa in a couple weeks. I'll see that then.
We're going to stump a mud hole in Tampa.
They look good against Tampa. I ain't going to lie.
We're going to stump a mud hole in Tampa. I'm comfortable with saying that.
I hope so.
and Washington,
but I'm the homer.
Washington did lose. So right now, I don't know when the Giants play.
They're playing Denver.
We're at top of the division right now as we speak. And I like the sound of it. And it's going to stay that way.
Ertz had a hamstring injury. He came back, but that could be something that lingers for a while, for at least a couple
Ertz,
months.
Ertz had the longest passing play of the game, and it was underthrown. Think about that. If it had hit Ertz in stride,
is this hating I'm trying to hear?
I wasn't going to say it because I'd have been called a hater, but he is right.
I mean, but
I want to see if you got to hit them in stride. You got to hit that one. But other than that, he had a great game.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get plays like that. I'm not. And truth be told, the pass was incomplete for real.
And that whole touchdown pass that Devonta got was because of Hurts. I think it was like a pick play. It was. And
he did what he's supposed to do. He jumped out the way. He made contact. He kind of just impeded progress a little bit.
You need that couple seconds. Get that separation.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it. We're gonna say. Like I said, I think this team is packed with some weapons. Washington just lost Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know how long, but he ain't finished the game. So
he didn't finish the game.
No, he ended up getting hurt. The backup came in, look halfway decent, threw a touchdown. But with that being the case, I may be changing. I said I think we're gonna come second to Washington. And Dallas actually looked good, so I can't hate on Dallas, but I may be changing my pick. I might be going Eagles 1, Dallas 2. That's where we at.
Let me actually
let's go.
Can I address email real quick? Because email keeps talking this. No one ever questioned Hurts' arm. Well, if you look up Hurts' arm, one of the first things come out, the guy says, or I've heard it once this offseason, I heard it a million times, Jalen Hurts can't throw the football well enough to be a successful NFL quarterback. So this isn't just something that we're coming up with out of the blue. This is something that a lot of people have talked about. Now it remains to be seen if it's true or not. I might be wrong.
When you say throw well, is it you talking about accuracy? It doesn't say.
No. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about. It's not the accuracy. That's what I'm talking about. Look and see how some of these other quarterbacks throw. Sometimes that's not the be all end all. But when you look at the top tier quarterbacks when they throw, even when you look at Dak throw, that ball zips. Like when you look at other quarterbacks throw, the ball zips. His don't zip like that to me. Like even the one now I think his accuracy is solid. You know what I'm saying? Like in that mid range and stuff. But like even when he throw the ball deep, that joint don't like to me. It don't be like a line like that zip through like that.
He threw a couple of days look like though. That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't zippers like that.
To me, you hate watching. You got your hate guy. Put them shades you had. Put them shades you had on the polo back on. Those are hate shades. You hate watching.
I need them to do the sports science thing to see how quick his travel. You know how they do the sports science to see how fast somebody can throw it. That's what I want to see.
Can we talk about Matt Ryan
per hour?
Because
Matt Ryan clock it.
Matt Ryan he gets all this love. He was ranked number 7. It was one publication. They had him ranked the 7th best quarterback in the league. Had Jalen Hurts ranked number 31 out of 32 teams. Matt Ryan do not look like he's better.
Tim, stop getting caught up on this. See, this is why I don't do this.
But I hate reading
I know. But listen, see, I know why you mad and understand that because I see stuff like that be saying.
Wait. Let Tim finish what he's about to say. You hate media because what?
Okay.
They be hating. No, what I'm saying is, Matt Ryan, is he a top 10 quarterback? Yes.
Wait, no. You was about to say you hate the media because before they even see somebody play or something. Was that about you? What you about to say?
No, I was saying, is Matt Ryan the top 10 quarterback?
I wish you would have let him. I wish you would have let him finish. I wish you would have let him finish because he was about to put his foot right in his mouth.
Is he a top 10 quarterback at this point? At this stage?
No, Matt Ryan ain't been a top 10 quarterback.
I didn't think he's been a top 10 quarterback in years.
I think the last time he been a top 10 quarterback was when they went to the Super Bowl. He was balling. He had a great year, MVP status. They even should have won that Super Bowl. It wasn't necessarily even his fault. I think it was play calling that caused that Super Bowl more than anything. He should have got rid of that ball. He took a bad sack. He should have got rid of the ball. But I don't even think a pass play should have been called. That was stupid that they even called a pass.
You know Julio Jones.
Nah,
they did.
What's he doing? They had 4 wins with Julio last year.
They still missing a day though.
They had 4 wins with Julio last year.
You still miss a great wide receiver though, because it's
Calvin Ridley's a great wide receiver. Calvin Ridley should have caught that pass too.
He should have caught that pass. But I mean, Kyle really ain't no Julio Jones. That's like comparing Rieger to Devonta Smith.
No, it's not. No.
But
and really, at number 2 is different than him at number.
By the
1.
way, Rieger is looking a lot better. See, this is what happens when you have better talent around you. Now, last year when Rieger was like the top wide receiver on the team, he ain't looked that great. Now, when you got talent around you and the pressure's not on you to be great, the pressure's on Devonta Smith to be good, and he stepped right in and filled the shoes. The pressure's on Rieger. I don't even know if he's a starter. I think Quez Watkins is. I think Rieger's like the slot receiver. So when the pressure's not on you to be that top draft pick, the pressure's off a little bit, you can play a little bit. As Rieger playing a little loose, get him all punt returns though, please. Put him in position to succeed. And that's what this coach is doing, what I like.
This is a classic example to me of you draft who you supposed to draft. I don't care what you think. Like you start, oh man, I think this dude, he showed me something in his workouts and all. Draft who you supposed to draft. I don't even care if the person don't pan out. You drafted who you were supposed to draft. Same thing with Jefferson. We should have drafted Jefferson. The same thing we should have drafted Megatron number 2. I can't think of his name right now. The Seattle wide receiver. We should have drafted him. Like, draft who you supposed to draft. That's all the fans for the most part really want. Now, sometimes you could be splitting hairs. Somebody, you might have the number 1 draft pick, and it's like, all right, should we lean this way? Should we lean? Okay, I can understand that. But when you clear, Rieger should never have been drafted as high as he was. He was a projected 3rd, 4th round draft pick, and we drafted him at 1. It's just way too much. So this right here is hopefully the Eagles brass will learn from a pick like this. Draft who you're supposed to draft. The boy Jalen gonna be that bull. I mean, Devonta, he gonna be that bull, and we're gonna see. And I love the fact that Jalen, our offense really is centered around young players that can grow together. This is the first time I actually think we've ever had this in Philly. Since probably Randall Cunningham with Fred Barnett, Calvin Williams. It's the first time we ever had young quarterback, young wide receiver, young running back, young tight end. It almost kind of reminiscent like when Dallas had they young trio, Aikman, Harper, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit. That we got a nice young nucleus we could build.
I think Eagles might. I hope Eagles won't drop the ball on Goddard because they get
quartet. The quartet. What you said?
The Eagles didn't offer Goddard a contract, and I hope they don't drop the ball on him. I think so too. I think he's a nice player in this league.
Yeah, I'm still trying to.
Metcalf.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the win, but I'm trying to temper myself. I guess I'm trying to balance out all this giddiness of the Eagles fans because it was stinking Falcons that we played. And see, I don't want people. We get all hyped up and then next game somebody have an off game or something. It's like, oh, see, they trash. Like, let's keep some balance to it. But they look good. And to your point that you was making, Ephraim, about drafting, usually they say they drafted for the system, not necessarily who's the best player, right? Well, maybe the system, because you don't think what was it? What was they doing?
They said they always wanted Devonta Smith.
No. I ain't talking about this year. I'm talking about in previous years. They always used to talk about drafting for the system, right? Like players that fit their system.
They always said the best player available.
I mean, I know you want to get hyped about it, but bottom line is Jalen Hurts. His game he had 264 yards passing, 62 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 126 passer rating. Playing the only team he was able to play, which was the Atlanta.
He did. How many yards was in the air? How many yards was in the air? Air. He threw a whole lot of dinking dunks that they broke out from red.
Why are you really doing this? We really doing this?
Oh, not the day, Wayne. No. Not the day.
I ain't being serious.
Wayne, the day ain't the day, Wayne.
No, it is. Okay. I'm just going to mention it, and then in a couple weeks, we're going to look and see what happens.
What's the number in the back?
I want to see him out.
What's the number?
Oh, what's the Eagles jersey? Oh, it's Wizard. It's the only Eagles jersey I got, so I'm going to represent. I'm not. Listen, I ain't not buying any more jerseys when they get rid of players and switch. My son bought me this, so I'm going to rock it.
I'm not saying you can't rock it. I'm just saying he's gone.
No. I don't care. I thought it was time for Wentz to leave. I'm not sold on. Listen, I wanted to bring in what's his name, the bull from the Texans.
You still trying to replace?
Because I'm not sold on Hurts. I'm not sold on Hurts. I'm not.
Start crying.
I'm not sold on him.
Sunglasses on and say, "That's my quarterback."
Listen, I'm not mad I'm not mad at nobody to not be sold on Hurts. I mean, you still got a whole nother year to see what he could do. He could turn around and stink all the rest of the games. So
Miz is calling you a hater, Wayne.
And Tim and Email and Liz will still be all giddy on him.
he said he think Jalen the real deal. Hey, Blaine, you wasn't. You might have missed the part. The reason why
Blaine is a hater.
The reason why Sergeant Bass said Metcalf. I was trying to think of his name because I was saying we should have drafted Metcalf. We should have drafted the best available player in the position, and we didn't. That's what we finally did with Devonta Smith, and I'm happy for that. But I don't want to get. Like I said, I'm rooting for Jalen. I think Jalen is the best choice over Wentz. I agree with Wayne. If we had a chance to get Deshaun Watson, I want Deshaun Watson. But for who we have or who we made the decision to take Jalen Hurts over Carson, I'm all in on Jalen. I'm buying what he's selling so far as our starter. Hopefully he can keep this momentum going. And we're going to see how the season turn out. But like I said, we got weapons. I think the thing that's going to help Jalen out is that we have legit young stud weapons on this team that can make some noise. And we have a coach who's willing. And this is why I mentioned earlier when you said, well, you need a quarterback to run the plays the coach has. And that's true. But I think that quarterback coach goes hand in glove. You need a coach to be creative enough to make sure that you're not putting your quarterback for one in bad positions and that you're using the talent around him. Even as good as whatchamacallit is, the Kansas City quarterback. I don't know why I'm forgetting everybody's name so far today. As good as he is, without Andy Reid and Bellamy and all them behind the scenes calling great offensive strategies, that offense won't be as great as it is. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. That offense won't be great as it is.
Just because a team wins don't make, and I already said Jalen Hurts played great today. He played, the coach put him in a position to do the stuff that he does best, and he executed. So he played great. But I'm not going to sit up here and with this old Homer attitude. We beat the Falcons! The Falcons! Do y'all know what the Falcons are? Y'all sitting here doing parades. Then y'all going to be the same dudes crying in 5 weeks. We stink. Sirianni stinks.
Wait.
Finger stinks.
The way.
But stop hyping it.
Get the down, baby.
In the words of Andy Reid.
Enjoy the win.
Where's that doll at?
Yeah. In the words of Andy Reid,
y'all know good well. Them same dudes gonna be here in a couple weeks and calling everybody bums if they dropping something. That's right. Keep it balanced. Be real. See what people say. That's right.
All right.
Enjoy the win.
Wayne, for example, early on, my concern that I had with that Hurts is last year he did struggle in the second half scoring. So I was hoping today that we wouldn't struggle in the second half. That I wanted to see progress. I openly admitted that last year and all through this year. Today, I saw that he actually was able to score points in the second half. That makes me feel good.
No, I agree with that. I agree with it. I agree with you on that because in the second half, Atlanta actually switched up the way that they attacked them, and they started cutting them edges off on him, and he did what he took what they gave him, and it worked. I agree with that.
But
not watching it.
Go ahead, Ethan.
From not watching the tape yet, Hurts seemed like he's seen the field very well. I do have my subscription to NFL Network. I'm watching the tape, but Hurts.
I'm about to take a shot.
He seems like he's seen the field very well. I gotta give him credit for that. The blitz, even one time when the blitz and he threw the ball, but he threw it behind somebody or something. But he's reading everything. He's seeing the blitz coming in. He's picking up what's going on. So to me, he can only get better. Hopefully, he can only get better from here.
I agree, and that's what I was saying earlier. They kept throwing the blitz at him. I think not to discredit. I'm not discrediting Hurts when I'm saying this, but I'm just giving credit to the coach because it appears that the coach also ran a very good game plan coming out of half. I love some of the adjustments. I really feel that this dude, I have to give him credit because I was hating on him. Not necessarily hating, I just didn't know what he brought to the table. Yeah. I was suspect of what he was going to do. But so far what I'm seeing, he made some great halftime adjustments. He took what the defense gave him. He was in his quarterback ear, making sure, and I'm sure Jalen was saying some stuff too, but they was hand in glove. This is what you want from your quarterback coach. You want a very open communication. I see what you're seeing. You see what I'm seeing. This is what a great offense is built upon, and I love it. And email real quick, it wasn't that Eagles didn't want Watson. They said Watson told his agent, I don't want to go to Philly. That's what the report I heard was. So maybe you heard something different.
Anyway.
But Watson said he said I don't want to go to Philly.
He want to go where they got the best massage therapists. They use them.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Here's I do want to make one quick point. Did y'all see that series where him and Devonta was just going back and forth? Like
I want to bring that up. Yeah, that was great.
That was smooth.
And it was no running back. It was no running backs behind him, right?
Yeah.
On Hurts, it was like 4 plays in a row where he was empty backfield.
They couldn't do nothing with him.
I was about to say that impressed me when they let Hurts go empty backfield like that, and you knew he had to pass.
Yep.
And he was forced to land and call timeout because somebody kept running through the field. Real quick.
Hold on. So, Emo, where'd you get your story from? Hold on,
Blaine,
1 second.
I'm waiting, Blaine.
Let me say this, Emo. Where'd you get your story from? Emo saying that's a media created story by Ephraim. Stop it. Where'd you get your story that Eagles didn't want?
He got it from the news. He got it from the newspaper.
You got an Eagle insider or something that we don't know about, or did you get it from the media? Stop.
He got it from the earthisflat.com.
Stop. Emo always swear his sources are so authentic if they agree with what he thinking.
Listen,
I'm just telling you what I saw. I didn't see anything saying the Eagles didn't want Watson. But I did see something saying Watson didn't want to come here. So send me the article.
Real quick, clearly, my stance on Hurts is I think that he's a good runner. I think that he's a smart guy. I think he makes good decisions. I don't think he has a rocket arm, and I like for my quarterback to have a rocket arm. I don't hate Hurts. Carson Wentz ain't my quarterback. I don't care. I still wish him well. I like him as a person until he turned and started acting like he acted. But I just don't. I want Hurts to prove me wrong because that means my team can win. I'm glad they put the weapons around him. But just because I want him to win and I want my team to win, I'm not going to come in here with Eagles-colored glasses and hyping it up like, we got it. Super Bowl. Half of y'all probably feel like y'all going to win the Super Bowl now off of this game off Atlanta. This is what Philly fans do. See,
I think we're going to the chip.
Exactly.
We at least going to the
playoffs.
we at least going to
I didn't say we can't the way they look, but we'll see after a couple games.
We're going to the NFC conference game.
The conference game is already sold. With home field advantage.
Before we get off, around the league real quick, what team do y'all think was great last year that won't be great last year? It won't be great this year.
You should have gave us some homework, some time to think about it.
I'm going to go on a limb and say the Titans is going to have a turnaround season.
They're not going to be good.
But their coach is here in Atlanta.
I don't know. I got to look at the landscape a little bit. I know I tell you who's going to do better. Listen, I'll tell you who's a great coach by default so far, what I'm saying from the quarterback is what's the Rams coach name again? I keep forgetting his name.
Oh, yeah, the Wonder Kid.
Yeah, I think he could because Jared Goff looked like doo-doo over there in Detroit. And I think with Matt Stafford going over to the Rams, I think they're gonna make some noise in LA. If he did what he did with Goff, yeah, Sean McVay. If he did what he did with Goff, and Goff to me is suspect. He's very suspect.
He didn't do that bad.
Who?
They came back into Goff. He had 330 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Yeah.
Oh, he must have bounced back and had a better second half because the first half he was looking like trash.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see then.
Well, now you got to blame him for the success and stuff.
That was maybe McVay was holding him back.
No,
but we
McVay, yeah.
But he got Deshaun over there, so Deshaun might have a nice season with them.
They played
he with the Rams.
Yeah, he with the Rams. He signed with LA. He
gonna get hurt third game in.
He went to go rob them now.
Let me ask y'all, how y'all think New Orleans gonna be this year with Winston?
Jameis.
He got LASIK eye surgery.
He's a head case though. I think he got skill. I think he got talent, and you got what's his name here, the coach. But
I wouldn't say head case. I would say he lacked discipline, and I think
I like that. Tim. Yeah,
I can see that. But even when he was with them last year, wasn't he doing something goofy and ended up getting him benched or something?
He got a little tiff with the coach. You know, the coach decided to start the other guy. But he still wound up won the starting position this year in the preseason.
They up 10-0 right now on Green Bay.
I think he do have the skill. I think he has the skill set. I just think sometimes with him it's more of a not saying. Like
I think sometimes it's up here. Sometimes he forced.
That's what I think it is with him too.
sometimes quarterbacks with him with great arms, even to me, Wentz even had this problem. You think you could fit the ball anywhere on the field. And I think Winston does that sometimes.
Yeah, he do because he got an arm, and he think like Brett Favre kind of mentality. Sometimes you think you could rifle it in, gunslinger. Can't Ron L. I think that was you asked him. No, somebody asked what Cam was at. That wasn't Ron
Cam
L.
home right now.
Yeah, Cam ain't playing with nobody. He got released.
Washington, he might get a look at Washington now.
No, he won't. The coach for Washington has had cancer. So anybody that's around him must be fully vaccinated, and Cam is not getting vaccinated. That's the reason why he's not on the team, on any team. So,
Listen, okay,
maybe that's the case. But it's going to show you how much they care about the coach. If they say, you know what, we're gonna bring Cam in anyway.
No, they do that.
Depending on how Fitzpatrick
depending on how desperate they get. If they
so the Cam got to get vaccinated, or that's just some dirty mess.
So wearing masks. We'll see how that ends up.
My signal again.
Eagles had the division, right now we're the division leaders until the Giants play. We'll see what happens with them. I mean, until they win or lose. But I'm liking what I see. As much as I see how the Dallas Cowboy fans felt when they saw, Dak and all them come out and Gallup and everybody looked all good. The young boy they got that we should have had. I don't even want to say his name because he's a baller. But I see how they felt. They lost. They felt optimistic about what they saw. Yeah. But now we won and we played really good. I'm optimistic. Now, their team was better. They went against Tampa. I agree with all that. But I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Did y'all like the fact that Jalen had no turnovers?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, that's the one thing I'm putting way above Wentz with is the lack of turnovers. Because like y'all said earlier, when he got hit that one time, and said how if it was Wentz, he would have fumbled. I agree. That right there Hurts is way above Wentz with controlling the ball.
But he's gonna have to take a little bit more risk to be to go to that next level. He's gonna have to be more risky with the ball.
But what you mean? Why? Risky like what?
Like believing in trusting his receivers to make a play for him. I need this. Eventually, as he go down the line.
I mean, but Tim, for real, we all watch the Chiefs a lot because they're always on TV. For real, how many difficult passes in one game you see Mahomes throw? Mahomes don't throw that many difficult passes. He gets the ball to the person who gets open, and they run a very open offense because of all the movement, the misdirection. They get dudes open. This one makes their offense so hard to stop, and why Tampa did a wonderful job slowing it down. And to KC's defense, they also had injured offensive linemen and all that stuff to help out Tampa. But with that being said, if you construct your offense right, I know what you're saying. There's going to be some times you want to thread the needle, you want to make some tough catches and all that kind of stuff like that. But it's not going to be, to me, at least, if the weapons that we have, you ain't going to have to do it that much because defense is going to be on their heels with the weapons that we have. We have some legit. If Rieger could be half the Rieger that we want him to be with Devonta and Quez and Goddard and Sanders and the other young boy, number 14, coming out the backfield, we're going to be a problem. I'm telling y'all.
You know what I hope? What I hope hurts? You know what I hope hurts is like Ephraim said about hope he built his arm strength up. Because in all honesty, to me, he could be a Donovan McNabb without the mental weakness. Donovan's not, my knock on Donovan was the mental weakness. Donovan had all the tools. And my only thing, like I said, my thing with Jalen Hurts is because I think Jalen Hurts is smart. I think he makes good decisions and stuff like that. I think the only problem, like I said, my only problem with him is and maybe that problem is I'm comparing him to McNabb, and I want to see that rocket arm McNabb had. But I mean, as of today, he did everything he had to do, everything he was expected to do. He took what the defense gave him, and we won.
Speaking of Donovan McNabb, did y'all see the interview when T.O. said he wanted to still knock Donovan McNabb out?
Mm-hmm.
He said, to this day, T.O., how long ago is that? 15 years ago or something?
That's 2000.
2004 when we went to the Super Bowl. That's 16, 17 years ago.
He said he wanted to do an organized fight with McNabb. And he said all the rage that he has inside of him, he will knock McNabb clean out. smooth out on his back.
McNabb fatter than me right now. T.O. still in shape. I'm pretty sure T.O. right will.
I said I believe
it. Man, T.O. wild boy, he funny.
How y'all think before we get out of here? The defense. So we ain't talking a lot about the defense. What do y'all think? What did y'all see?
I think the cornerback play was solid. I like Maddox. I think Maddox and Slay obviously are top corners, but I like the Bull Maddox a lot. I've always been a fan of Maddox. I thought he looked really good. The defensive line, once they got going, they turned it up. The linebackers played pretty well. It was some gaps, like they said early on. We was kind of getting our throat ran down a little bit, but I just think it was just kind of the opening day, kind of getting your sea legs back up underneath you. But once we got rolling, we looked solid. We looked solid, got some pressure. We want to see, like everybody keeps saying, as we experience some tougher competition, what they really built for. But based on this game, we look good.
Yeah, I agree. And but like I said, I guess this is my whole thing with this game. And I get everybody's optimism. I can't get over the fact of who we played against. So, but we handled them. That's the good part about it. But that's just like, I'm looking at the secondary. The secondary was solid, and they didn't even have Rodney McLeod. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's our best safety. They ain't even played. And so we'll see on both sides of the ball, though. But they looked excellent today. Coaching, the special teams. I mean, I ain't no kick. Then we hit the one field goal we did kick. We hit at least. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's only took off board, right? But I mean, all phases of the game, I thought we looked better in. Honestly, I think we look better than we did last year in all phases of the game. So we'll see. Plus, the other thing is the rest of the league is going to get some tape now because we ain't do nothing all preseason, so nobody knows nothing. So everybody looking at that now. So when we face tougher competition, we're going to see more. Hopefully, we can still handle like this. But that's why I have my wariness on. I'm watching it, and I'm hoping that it's the real deal. But I know it's a lot of variables.
Fair enough. I agree. I can't argue with that. I agree with y'all. Right? T.O. still mad. That McNabb caused him that Super Bowl. That's probably still in his crawl. He ain't gonna never get over that. That McNabb choked up. But I agree with all that.
I agree. Say like that we play zone now.
What you say? He say like that we play zone. We play more zone now. Yeah, I agree with that too. I think man coverage is, for one, it's difficult to play man coverage in today's NFL. They give all the advantage to the wide receivers, and these wide receivers, they are gifted. They are good. You talk about these young boys, all the drills that they run to get their foot speed and quickness together, and then the advantage of the offense already going in. It's very, very difficult to play man on coverage. Truth be told, to me, cornerback, outside of quarterback, cornerback is the single hardest position to play in the NFL, period, in my opinion. It is a very tough position to play. And even as we saw last week, the rules don't benefit you. The Bull, I thought that was a push-off from the Tampa Bay game. Bull pushed clean off of him. Godwin.
So Mills, you saying that the Falcons, you said when the Falcons rock somebody next week, then what I'm going to say? Well, when they come out next week and they rock Tampa, then you just make sure you come back on here and remind me you said they're gonna rock Tampa. I'll be here every week. You just make sure you show up.
That'll be seen.
All right. Anybody got any other questions in the chat or anything y'all want to say before we wrap this thing up?
I'm good.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right. So this is the first game out of 17, and right now we undefeated. And looks like we ahead of our division, so I'm loving it. All right, so you can catch the replay obviously on YouTube, and you can also catch it on Twitter and Spotify and iTunes and the rest. But thanks for watching, thanks for listening. We're going 17-0.
Deuces.
All right, y'all, we out.
Ethan in the chat section talking about fellas.
I know.
Emo said, "Burn that jersey, Wayne."
I see him. Yeah. Emo cracks me up. Tell Emo, I'll tell him I'll do it when he burn Ben's jersey.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah, go ahead. That was a good pick. I mean, the boy.
No, it definitely was. No, it was a good one. But I'm just honestly, this the sad part is I got to give Tim props because I thought Tim was level-headed about it. You know what I'm saying? But you got boys like Email hit me up and yo, Wayne, what do you think now, Wayne?
Wayne got so hype his internet
He froze himself.
he got so hype. He got so hype his internet frequency out on him. But look, I'm about to go finish my basement real quick. I gotta make moves anyway. I'll let y'all on the polo.
All right. We talk to y'all.
You still live? It still say we live on the thing. Did you ever stop it?
Oh snap! I don't think I might have stopped.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for watching.
Yo, this one still at his live. What in the world, bruh?
I swore I stopped this.
This boy, he trying to get his, trying to
catch a case. All right.
Ethan.